Okay, so we've had plumbing issues this weekend, so hopefully if you see them go back and forth, they won't be too distracting. Anyways, okay, so this is my article or my paper on the article Gotham City and the Gothic Literary and Architectural Traditions by Alex Fitch. So I entitled it "Dreams and Nightmares: A Look at Gothic Architecture in Batman." So, in storytelling and the ability for others to invoke emotions while communicating a moral idea, Batman has been paramount in demonstrating how a normal man can become a product of their surroundings and be a superhero. In Gotham City and the Gothic Literary and Architectural Traditions by Alex Finch, he demonstrates how one of the set designers brought forth the intrinsic Gothic literary themes in the Batman story. This is how not only does the architecture infect the storyline, but also character development and overall thematic structures in imagining the world of Batman. The animators and film production crews of Batman do not hold true to original Gothic architecture, and in the article it is discussed how that gives a sense of different temporalities existing in the margins. This leads to a feeling that Batman is relatable as a character that lives in a Gothic noir story, yet is a part of our modern world and can be set in a real city like in the Christopher Nolan Batman films. In the question of how they should hold true to original Gothic architecture, I do not believe they should. Batman started in the 1930s and was a Silver Age comic book character, complete with a pop culture inspired TV show. He changed as the many writers, animators, and film directors take part in developing and moving his story along. The one thing that does hold true about Batman and sets him apart from other comic book characters of the same high status is that he's a gothic slash noir character in his dealings with monstrous villains and internal struggles that mirror gothic literature. Excuse me. In reading this article, many tangential works come to mind. From The Crow, created by James O'Barr, to Repo, the Genetic Opera, directed by Darren Lynn Bousman. These are films and subsequent novellas and comic books that marry the past, present, and future together in a distinctive Gothic style. This means that the medieval period that is most reliant on this is the medieval period that is most reliant on the Gothic style, not only because it deals with a classification of the text as part of the Gothic postmodern genre, its ghosts, its monsters, its Promethean concerns, and its multiple layered approach to storytelling, but also because we are fascinated by the influences of the past directly on the future. Gothic literary tropes deal with the unknown and the fearful to drum up both beautiful dreams and the highly decorated Gothic architecture, but also nightmares lurking in the dark corners. As Alex Fitch's article goes on to explain, the fictional locations that Batman inhabits are haunted by the phantoms of incandescent nuns and dragon-like psychopaths, while the art is haunted by the manifestation of Gotham City in a different medium. Deep dive into how originally Batman was not a Gothic postmodern superhero, but originally could be classified as part of the emerging noir detective trope, shows how growing up in the 90s truly affects how one sees such a large figure in the comic book world. Anton Furst is credited in the article to be the one who originally brought in distinctive Gothic architecture in the Batman genre and subsequently changed the story, with further novels and comic books picking up and expanding with Gothic literary devices. So, as Batman continues to explore darker themes in both movies and comic books, he becomes more than just a flashy pop culture crime fighter, and this can relate directly back to the shift in set design and how Gotham as a city changed during the 90s, with the inclusion of Gothic architecture. That Batman reflects and expands on the Gothic horror genre while being set just slightly in the future. And this is my bibliography. Alright, that's what I have.